You know, I found out recently that apparently I have a small but apparently growing contingent of Filipino viewers. And considering the Philippines is a country that I think is just straight up like a U.S. territory, um, very, very much tied into the government of America and all of that, very close country to us, I figure since there is something really big happening in the government of the Philippines right now, in their politics, and I've got a good amount of people in the Philippines who watch my content, I might as well dip my toes into the conversation. Why not? It was a U.S. territory, but they're independent now. Oh, cool. Nice. Well, things are not too nice in the Philippines right now, actually. Besides the general state of things and the fact that, listen, I know a good amount of people from the Philippines, and from what they have told me, and what they have shown me, much of the Philippines are literal slums. I've got friends who live in basically what you would call slums in the Philippines, where there are spider webs of power lines and like everywhere that date back to like the 70s, and there are stray dogs everywhere, and the government does not do a great job of taking care of its people. And because of that, and this goes back a long way, mind you, things are getting a little heated as of late in the world of Filipino politics, with specifically the vice president currently having a motion made to impeach her. Now, her name is Sara Duterte. Now, if you know anything about Philippines politics, the last name Duterte should stand out to you. It should immediately pop out, and you should be like, oh shit. Because if you go to, I think it's her father's Wikipedia page, and you read it, let's read some things from her father's Wikipedia page, shall we? Rodrigo Duterte. Alleged involvement with Davao Death Squad. Duterte has been linked by human rights groups such as Amnesty International and the Human Rights Watch to extrajudicial killings of over 1,400 alleged criminals and street children by vigilante death squads. In April 2009, UN General Assembly of the Human Rights Council, the UN report, 11 Central, said the mayor of Davao City has done nothing to prevent these killings, and his public comments suggest that he is in fact supportive. Duterte emphasized that the concept of human rights or the human rights for criminals is Western and should not apply to the Philippines. He further challenged the human rights officials to file a case against him if they could provide evidence of his links to vigilante groups. Duterte frequently expressed his support for the extrajudicial killings that occurred during his tenure as Davao City mayor, while alternatively denying and admitting his links to them. During his post-presidency in October 2023, he admitted on his talk show program, alright, let's see if I can pronounce anything in Tagalog, Gikan Samasa para Samasa. Good luck with that pronunciation. That was probably the whitest accent you've ever heard. To using intelligence funds to finance the extrajudicial killings done during his time as mayor. Now, funnily enough, as far as I know, Duterte isn't even the craziest, most, murderous motherfucker to have been in charge of the Philippines, which should kind of put things into a little bit of contextual perspective for people on, how the leadership has been for a while. We actually have a Filipino chatter right now that says, I get a lot of people saying the Philippines is similar to a red state in America. Yeah, I definitely have seen that, a lot of Filipino boomers tend to lean pretty hard right as well. But there's definitely been a pretty big shift. I love the Philippines. If you're going to the Philippines to vacation as a Western tourist, you'll probably have a great time. It's beautiful there. But living in the Philippines is fucking rough, dude. It's rough. Now, of course, he has claims of having committed sexual abuse in his past, and on top of that, he's just kind of an unhinged fucking psycho. Rodrigo Duterte was. He murdered a classmate in university. A classmate in university made fun of him for having Visayan origin, which I think is like an ethnic group maybe in the Philippines. A classmate teased him for it and was a bit racist, and so he pulled out a gun and shot him in the fucking head. And then became president of the Philippines. And now his daughter is vice president and getting impeached. So let's go ahead and catch ourselves up with the state of politics in our friendly neighbor country, all the way across the Pacific. You know, close neighbors. The Philippines Senate president said Thursday the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte will begin after Congress reopens in June, and vowed to avoid a repeat of stalled 2001 impeachment proceedings that sparked massive protest and forced a president to step down. Yes, the Philippines has been having a real one lately. The previous day, the House Representatives impeached Duterte, daughter of former President Rodrigo Duterte, on a range of accusations that include plotting to assassinate the president, large-scale corruption, and failing to strongly denounce China's aggressive actions against Filipino forces in the disputed South China Sea. Every Filipino that I know has unkind things to say about the Chinese government. And I have a feeling there are a lot of reasons for that. And I'm sure if we Googled it right now, we'd be reading for a while. At least 215 of the House's more than 300 legislators signed the complaint, significantly more than the required number, allowing it to be transmitted immediately to the Senate, which will serve as the impeachment court. The impeachment came on the last day of congressional session before a 4-month break. Sara Duterte didn't immediately comment, but her brother, Representative Paolo Duterte, said the impeachment was a clear act of political persecution. Rival lawmakers maneuvered to quickly collect signatures and push a baseless impeachment claim, quote-unquote, to the Senate, he said. Well, I mean, if they vote to impeach, then, I mean, it doesn't seem like the majority agreed that the claim was baseless, huh? My God, the guy whose sister is getting impeached said the impeachment is unjust. Oh wow, he must be right and not incorrect at all. He has no motivations to just bullshit for his sister and his family's nepotistic control of this country. Nah. Senate President Francois Escudero said under the law, an impeachment court can only be convened and senators sworn in as jurors when the Senate resumes its session on June 2nd. So we've got a while before they get to do this vote, by the way. Getting you guys informed on this and telling you to mark your calendars for this well ahead of time. Check the ICC case against Duterte. Which Duterte? Rodrigo? They did an investigation in 2023. Oh my God, this might not be on her dad. It might be on her. On January 26, 2023, a pre-trial chamber of the International Criminal Court authorized the court's prosecutor to resume his investigation into the situation in the Philippines. The investigation covers alleged crimes committed from November 2011 to June 2016, including the large number of extrajudicial killings in Davao City while former President Rodrigo Duterte was its mayor, as well as in other parts of the country during his presidency up until March 16, 2019. Guys, you know, I just realized I know how to get this video into Philippines YouTube. I get my buddy to write the description in Tagalog. That should be all that's necessary, right? Or even a line in the description written in Tagalog might do it, right? Would that, like, unlock Philippines YouTube and the Philippines algorithm? Maybe just the topic will do it. It could just be the topic that'll get me into the algorithm. House of Representatives has already done a 2/3 vote to impeach her. Yeah, but as they said, the senators can't be sworn in as jurors to vote on impeachment for the official, like, actual get the fuck out, you're found guilty of what we've charged you with, you're impeached, bitch, vote until June 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. Was that the date that they said they could do it? I'm scanning. July 1st. July 1st, not June 2nd, July 1st. So, yeah, yes, we're all terminally online. Hopefully that'll work. And yeah, like, I know that they've definitely started the process to impeach her, but the final thing can't happen till, like, July. What are 4 of the gayest things you've ever done with your friends? Man, I don't know. Probably sing sus remixes. I think most people listening to that would probably call it pretty gay, to be honest. The official death toll does not include those... Oh, wait, hold on. What the fuck? I might have read a little past where we were reading. The government reported that members of the Philippine National Police and the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency killed 6,252 people during anti-drug operations from July 1st, 2016 to May 31st, 2022. So my understanding is I might be mixing it up a little bit with Singapore's laws, because Singapore also has the, oh, you do drugs, we're just going to kill you now, right on the spot, laws like the Philippines has. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do they just fucking kill you for possessing drugs or selling drugs in the Philippines, or is it both? Because I know that one of those two things, the cops just fucking kill you. Like, on the spot. Like, they just fucking execute you in the street. Just straight up. They have ads here that endorse her impeachment. Based. But what I'm curious about is, like, how is the drug thing? Like, do they just straight up, like, execute you on the spot for just possessing drugs? Or do you have to be a drug dealer? Because I was under the impression they were going death penalty on drug dealers. You can buy your way out of anything in the Philippines? We don't? None at all? Well, that's good. Well, then again, 8,663 deaths apparently were attributed to Duterte and his regime killing drug dealers and drug addicts. But, you know, apparently in the law that's not supposed to happen. So Duterte was illegally killing thousands of people for drug possession. And it wasn't even part of the law. My bad, guys. It wasn't even part of the law. Yes, the government was killing people for drug possession, but it was illegal even by the country's laws. There you go. I can see why the ICC had such a case against the regime. Domestic human rights groups and the government-appointed Philippine Commission on Human Rights state that the real number of drug war killings is possibly triple the number included in the UN report. So, the Commission of Human Rights, the Philippine Commission of Human Rights, says that it is likely that 3 times or more the 8,663 number of people killed in the Philippines drug war, like, it was likely 3 times as bad. And there's no death penalty, mind you. No death penalty in the Philippines, according to Michael Y., which means that this was just a legal murdering of citizens. The scale of the drug war killings prompted the then ICC prosecutor Fatou Bensouda to announce in February 2018 the opening of a preliminary examination over the deaths, many of which are linked to extrajudicial killings in the course of police anti-drug operations. In May 2021, following her analysis of these crimes, Bensouda requested the court's authorization to open an investigation into the situation in the Philippines. The ICC pretrial chamber authorized the opening of the investigation in September 2021. Interesting. So this is the ICC case against Duterte's regime and the Philippines government, because apparently they've killed probably tens of thousands illegally in like the drug war. Well, fuck, man. It seems like the ICC is on the right track, and the impeachment of Sara Duterte is probably the right thing to do, because it seems like she's a Nepo baby who comes from the sperm of a psycho, just a psychotic, genocidal maniac. Yeah, pretty much. Legally, it cannot be done, Esquerdo said in a news conference when asked if a special Senate session could be called to start the impeachment trial earlier than July 1st. Nonetheless, many activists and critics argue the body could do more to provide a swift trial. Quote, the Senate's foot-dragging on the impeachment process versus Sarah Duterte will be a roadblock to the pursuit of accountability, said Christina Palabay, a leader of a human rights alliance. I bet she's right, too. I bet she's right. I bet this is the Philippines version of Trump getting a slap on the wrist for everything. And, right now, the people who have an opportunity to actually impeach Sarah Duterte, putting it off and trying to follow all the rules by the book one-to-one is probably going to fuck them in the end. They're not going to succeed in the impeachment if things go badly. I worry that it could just be a reflection of what's happened here, you know? The hearings in Congress were absolutely hilarious. Are they in English? Or are they... I mean, if they're subbed over, maybe that'll still work. Sarah Duterte House impeachment video. Is this live? Is he... No. Is Francis Escuero speaking live right now? Is Escudero speaking live now? Wait, holy shit. No, this is happening live, dude.
Sir, as a politician, how will you describe yung political context habang
this is live as fuck.
Impeachment for the next few months? I mean, can you imagine having a campaign with this?
This is the guy whose words we were just reading, by the way.
And then sabi nyo, aabot ng
He's speaking live. This is live streamed at this very moment.
The budget hearings with this looming, hanging over everybody else's heads.
This is a legal constitutional process. Hindi natin dapat to ikatakot o ikabahala.
We're speaking
may
Tagalog
election
now.
man, wala mang election, may sona man, wala mang sona. Ito'y constitutional process na tinalaga ng ating saligang batas para mapayapang maresolbahan anumang hindi natin pagkakaunawaan o para magawa yung gusto nating magawa.
I understood everything he said. If you don't agree, then you can get out. Don't deny my power, okay? I know all languages. I know all of the world's languages flawlessly, every word of every language. I know all of them. I understood. I understood everything he said there. The move by House legislators, many of them allies of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., deepens a... okay. This is a little bit unrelated. Should I talk about the Marcos family as well? Ferdinand Marcos Jr., also a Nepo baby whose father was a genocidal maniac. Marcos regime, Wikipedia. Let's go ahead and see what happens if we go to Ferdinand Marcos's Wikipedia page and I press Control F and I type in a word. What word do you think I'm about to type in? Oh, wait, it's not typing. One sec. Let me... There we go. Hold on. All right. Wait. Okay. Oh. That's a lot of lighting up of the term massacre. 29 instances of the term massacre in his Wikipedia section. That's interesting. Let's scroll a little bit. Ooh. The Jabita massacre? Huh. How many massacres can we find? I think here's where the list of the crazy 1,499 killed or wounded in massacres. In addition to these, 10,000 Moro Muslims were killed in massacres by the Philippines Army. More killings, civilian massacres. Here we've got 2 dead, 27 wounded in Quinangan, Quezon, which is a region, I believe, of the Philippines, Quezon. 10 of the 12 persons in the house killed, including an infant, and Tuleda Misamis Occidental. We can just scroll down. These are all massacres committed by the father of the current president of the Philippines. So the vice president is a Nepo baby of a maniac, and the current president is a Nepo baby of a maniac. Do you guys know now why I have been occasionally referencing Philippines politics as some shit I need to start getting into? Because the things going on there right now are frankly everything we're afraid is about to happen in our country, okay? Like, if you're ever curious about what America could look like if things go real bad for us with our elections and our government, this is what that looks like. Man, the massacres just keep going. Oh, now we're in the Muslim massacres section. I didn't realize they were breaking them up into different sections. That's so cool. Family denial, ill-gotten wealth. I love that. There's just a section to his Wikipedia page labeled ill-gotten wealth. That goes so fucking hard, dude. I'm not even gonna lie. Ill-gotten wealth. When Wikipedia has to refer to your wealth as ill-gotten, you know that you're just such a massive fucking monster, bro. Like, it's like reading Hitler's Wikipedia page, bro. This guy's alive and leads a country that there are people in my chat right now that live in and are citizens of, and I have friends who are citizens of a country that these Hitlers run, okay? Hitlers, baby Hitlers. Senator Duterte and Ferdinand Marcos Jr. are Hitlers. And they run countries, and the people of those countries, I know them. Think about that for a moment. That's really kind of fucked. Yeah, apparently Marcos has a Swiss bank account, overseas bank account shit. Like one of the most shady rich people things that ever fucking happens. I'm getting sweaty talking about this shit, bro. I'm getting heated. Anyway. The move by legislators, many of them allies of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the son of the guy whose Wikipedia page we just read, deepens a bitter political rift between the two highest leaders of one of Asia's most rambunctious democracies. Okay, one single upside. Apparently the Marcos and Duterte family hate each other, and they have a bit of a political rivalry in government, and so it's a two retards fighting situation. God help us if they were united. In their goals, and they work together. But thank God they just can't stop fighting. they both want to be that one family that owns the Philippines and slaughters as many innocents for their means as they want. Anyway, the signatures included the president's son, Representative Sandro Marcos, and the House Speaker, Martin Romualdez, the president's cousin. The petition asks the Senate remove Duterte from office and ban her from holding public office for life. In a Southeast Asian country long plagued by political divisions, impeachment trials can become politically volatile. In early 2001, an impeachment trial of then-President Joseph Estrada on allegations including bribery and corruption stalled over a vote not to open an envelope containing records of his suspected bank account. Massive protests ensued, eventually forcing Estrada to step down. Asked how that could be avoided in the impeachment trial of Duterte, Escudero said, Escudero, I'm sorry, I keep mispronouncing his name, said steps were taken early to ensure the credibility and impartiality of the impeachment court. No side should be prevented from expressing their positions, he added. The impeachment complaint against the vice president focused on a death threat she made against the president. Now, here's the thing. The Duterte family is very cringe. So's the Marcos family. And Sara Duterte made a death threat against Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Just straight up posted like an edgelord, probably not serious death threat. I talked about this recently, but I don't know if it got a segment. And I didn't spend a lot of time on it. But yeah, this is like I said, they're fighting. Like the two families that have nepotistically held power in the Philippines and done horrific things to the people of the Philippines are fighting over who gets to oust who gets to hold power. There is literally a power struggle happening in the government of the Philippines between the offspring of tyrants. No, she was completely serious. She said if she winds up dead, to have him killed. Thank you for letting me know. It absolutely was not a gamer moment. She was completely serious. It was a legitimate death threat. Good to know. The funny thing is, the Duterte family supported Ferdinand's regime, and now they're fighting it. Well, gotta say, it is a bit karmic, you know, considering. I mean, fuck, man. Like, When you can just go to the Wikipedia page for a world leader and just search massacre and get like 36 pings, it's like, oh. You know, that's all you really needed to know. I don't think I needed to read any of those, but I did anyway. She told a November 23rd online news conference that she had contracted an assassin to kill Marcos, his wife Romualdez, if she were killed, as in, like, she literally tweeted or posted publicly at a news conference that she had hired an assassin to kill the president of her country if she gets killed. It wasn't a joke. Okay, never mind. It very clearly wasn't a joke. Oh, yeah. I think you could have just let me keep reading, because a statement she said wasn't a joke. Yeah. Yeah, no, she's serious, guys. She later said it wasn't a threat, but an expression of concern for her own safety. Allegations of graft and corruption against her also emanated from a months-long and televised House investigation last year on the alleged misuse of 612.5 million pesos, or $10.5 million of confidential and intelligence funds received by Duterte's office as Vice President and Education Secretary. She later left the education post as her political differences with Marcos deepened. She has denied any wrongdoing, but refused to respond to questions in detail during the tense televised hearings. The impeachment complaint accused Duterte of undermining the Marcos government's policies, including by describing the administration's handling of territorial disputes with Beijing in the South China Sea as a fiasco. The complaint also mentioned her silence over China's increasingly assertive actions in the disputed waters. How cool would it be if there was ever a point in human history where the South China Sea is not one of the most fought over bodies of water on the planet? How cool would that be if that could happen one day? Never gonna happen anytime soon. Hasn't happened anytime in recent history, but wouldn't it be cool? Anyway. Yeah, things in the Philippines are, they're pretty crazy right now. They're pretty crazy, and you know, I've thought about visiting the Philippines. But, according to, well, friends of mine that live there, if I visit post doing a video like this, I may want to cancel any future trips to the Philippines now, once this goes out. Apparently journalists, even foreign journalists that are critical of the government, well, there have been cases where they've been murdered by criminal gangs, and criminal gangs going out of their way to target assassinations at government-critical journalists? Well, call me crazy, but I think that there are Philippines government officials hiring and working with criminal organizations and using them to murder journalists that are critical of the government. If you would like an example of one such case, Philippines journalist killed in car outside apartment. Oh, good. Wikipedia just giving me the immediate result. Lists of journalists killed in the Philippines. Yay! Let's read the list. Let's just go to like post like 1990s, like into the modern day, just to really like show you where things are at right now. So let's start with 2010, just for the sake of numbers. Let's start with 2010. How many journalists have been killed in the Philippines since 2010? Desi Dario, or Jesse Camanyan, was killed in the Philippines on June 14th, 2010. He was 50 and shot dead while on stage hosting a singing contest, reportedly over his criticisms of illegal logging activity. Jovelito Augustin, 37, was gunned down by two men on motorcycles while on his way home, reportedly over his criticisms against corruption. Nestor Bedollio, I feel so bad for mispronouncing someone who has been murdered's name, assassinated allegedly over criticisms against a politician. Jose Deguyo, 75, shot dead while having dinner in his home. The police claimed he was killed by cattle rustlers he had exposed. 5 suspects were later charged for the murder, including an arrested suspect gunman, another Lando Bilog, who was found dead, and Kalinga Isabella. So, like, it's not even just, like, journalists who criticize the government. There's also not a lot of safety if you're a journalist who, like, exposes corruption in the country. Like, you might expose some crime ring, and they will just come kill you for it. You know, they'll just come get your ass. Like, what are you gonna do to stop it, bro? Like, listen, dudes. I think this segment might be my official announcement of me banning myself from entering the Philippines until everything is different. Oh my god, the lists get longer since 2015. Wait, what? The lists are longer now. The lists were like 5 people per year, and then starting in like 2016, they had to change the format because the lists have gotten longer. Bro, what? We've already had one confirmed journalist killed last year. That's an upgrade, actually. Only 3 in 2023, 1 in 2024. But man, what happened in 2022 and 2016 in particular? Or 2018 was crazy. But what about 2017 and 2016? Ah, man, like 2015 was... Yeah, so journalists are not exactly safe in the Philippines. I wouldn't say I'm cooked if I go there. But I will say I'm a pussy, and I'm too scared to go there now. So, that's my statement on the issue. I am too much of a pussy to go to the Philippines after this segment now. Especially since I fully intend for this video to end up in the Philippines YouTube algorithm, and I have a buddy from the Philippines that's gonna help me pull it off. All right, we're gonna find a way. He's gonna help me make sure that this video ends up in the right algorithm. But yes, I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. Obviously, there are a good few people close to me that are Filipino, and the fact that their country is fascist is kind of a big deal, and I felt that I really needed to do a dedicated segment deep diving into all of this for a while now, so I hope you guys appreciated it, and I hope that you guys found it entertaining and educational. And in any way informative or worth watching. If you did, then consider hitting the like button. Every single one of those thumbs up goes a long way to boost my channel in the algorithm. Every single one, live, forcing YouTube to push my content to more new people. It helps the channel grow immensely, it's totally free, and it means a lot. You can also subscribe and ring the bell icon to turn on all notifications that YouTube actually tells you when I go live or upload new videos in the future. And of course, if you want to follow my social medias, link down below to see more from me, you can always do so. I'm posting on all sorts of other stuff as well. And on top of that, if you want to support me directly, you can afford it and you feel like it, then consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live. Or you can support me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, StreamElements, Patreon, or you can buy some merch through the Streamlabs link down below in the description. Regardless of how you support me, though, I really do appreciate it no matter what. And thank you so much as always for watching, and I hope to see you again.